too tough for me, and I'm just backing off. But I really like those boots of mobility for Rammus because, or in fact, with a lot of tanks, because it allows me to move from lane to lane very quickly, and I can always be around when there's a big team fight. So I can safely be in one area, farming some neutral mobs, and once things start to develop, get over to the main fight. Now this works especially well with my, am I going to get the taunt off? No. Works especially well with my Powerball, which adds a speed multiplier to my movement. So once my Powerball gets really revved up, with those boots of mobility, I move extraordinarily fast, and I can get to the action. It's also really nice for setting up ambushes, because I can come out of the bushes so quickly that people don't have the opportunity to react. But, of course, with Rammus, there are plenty of boot options. The Ninja Tabby is an excellent choice as well. It increases your armor and your dodge, and helps you be a lot more tanky against physical characters. And the Mercurius treads are always... Oh, the dragon's still mad at me. He keeps shooting. Oh, I'm very low here. Am I going to be able to escape? Because I definitely can't stay. Actually, what you're going to see here is you're going to see a really boneheaded move by me. And it's due to my misunderstanding of abilities. So our Zillion here puts on his ultimate on me, which means if I were to die, I would not actually die. I would revive. And it takes me a second to realize I've got it, and I think, oh, maybe I should stick around. I mean, there's action here. I'm looking at the buff. I don't see a timer on it. So I say, oh, maybe it doesn't have a duration. And at this point, I'm deciding I'm going to run in and try to get a stun off on someone. And it turns out that I had lost my buff already. That's what I got for not paying attention. And then immediately after this, I make another sort of overly aggressive move here. I'm trying to slow them down. I didn't realize Blitzcrank was there. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. And then, again, Zillion puts on his time bomb buff on me, and I decide, you know what, I may die here regardless, so I'm going to turn around and make sure the bomb goes off in my enemies' faces. And hopefully someone can get a kill, and Gank Williams, the Blitzcrank, did get killed, so I guess an eye for an eye there, although ideally that's not the best way of doing it, but we're able to follow up here with another kill on Teemo and on Twisted Fate, so... While it was sort of a over-aggressive move, I guess it paid off, but it's hard to measure that out. Of course, it makes my stats look terrible, but as a tank, I really think it's your job to kill yourself sometimes, and hopefully your team is providing you with enough cover to make the sacrifice worthwhile. Here you get a great intercept on Master Yi, and he goes down, and what have we got here? Blitzcrank has shown up again. Oh, they've got a lot of help. The stun... I'm going to go down once more. Are we able to finish these guys off, though? Veigar goes down. Oh, man. Oh, Blitzcrank goes down. Is our Twitch going to survive this, or is he going to die again? Looks like he might get a... No, he's dead. So at this point, I don't know, the match is not going fantastically well. I don't feel that it's a lost cause yet, but we're certainly fighting from behind. And I do not remember how this match ends, so I'm quite anxious to see here. There's a couple of heroes I know, and I'm going to try to bust in here. Our Kassadin's fantastic. He's doing tons of damage. I think the Kassadin is carrying our team. I don't know what his score is, but I seem to recall he ended up with something really good. Again, I may go down here. Oh, I just barely get away. And then I think our allies are going to be able to finish off Blitzcrank once more. Maybe, no, maybe Veigar. Well, what's important is that I survived. So the next build item I haven't built it yet, but I'm trying to build it, is the Sunfire Cape. It's a really nice item as a tank, because it serves two purposes. One, it gives you extra health and armor. Awesome as a tank. But also gives you AoE damage around you. That's to say area of effect. Everything around you takes 40 damage per second. And that's quite nice, because as a tank, sometimes what you have is you have survival, but you don't have enough sort of killing power to be considered a threat. And sometimes people will just start ignoring you. By building a Sunfire Cape, you guarantee that you're always a little bit of a threat, so they've got to pay attention to you. If they ignore you, it's a bad idea. But of course, you want them to be paying attention to you because you're the toughest member on your team. But what it also does, especially for Rammus, who does not farm very well, is it allows them to kill mobs much, much faster and start to farm up a lot more gold. Now, by the time you get the Sunfire Cape, most of the game is over, but it will be a little bit of a help getting some of those endgame items. It also really helps you push a lot better, because near the end, being able to push towers really becomes quite critical. So as you can see, I'm doing my regular job of trying to kill the neutral mobs as quickly as possible, or as often as possible. And while I'm doing that, there's a big fight that started up right by our tower. So I'm going to try to bust in. I throw my stun, I throw my taunt on Blitzcrank to keep him within range of the tower, and that kills him. After the fact that he's killed me a couple times in this match, it's nice to get a killing blow myself on him. And well, we don't wipe out their team because Master Yi is still alive up top, but we absolutely destroy this group fight. And that is great. I think this may be the turning point in the match. So we're going to try to push up the middle as quickly as possible here and take out some towers. Looking at the map, we've only taken out one of their towers so far, and they've gotten, I think, 3 of ours. So yeah, we were definitely behind, but I think this will be our chance to maybe get down at least one middle tower. Now I'm going to pop my ultimate. My ultimate does damage towers, which is really nice, and look how fast it goes down. Not just because of me, of course, but it helps. Let's see what we can do here. Master Yi is back up in the middle. But there's 3 of us. Of course, we don't have enough mobs around, enough minions around to tank the tower for us. So we're going to have a hard time pushing. And Teemo's back up, so this may be the end of this push. Let's see what happens. Okay, now there's 4 of them. Maybe all 5 of them up in the middle. So we're definitely going to have to push back. Our Zillion is up top, but otherwise the 4 of us are still kind of in the middle. And our group fight went so well last time, we may be able to start them up again. What do? We're going to try to flank them from the side. Have a drink of water here. Man, that Vigor is fantastic with his stuns, but I luckily just dodged that fist. Not that it really matters because I was going to stick around anyway, but it is some extra damage. And I think we're able to take Blitzcrank down again thanks to some teamwork. But I've taken a lot of damage. That is, I don't know if I play Rammus wrong or my tanks wrong, but I do feel like I take a lot of damage very, very quickly. Oh, and we're forced back here. So I don't know if there's a way to make myself a little bit tougher, so that I can stay in the middle longer. I don't know. If you've got any advice about how to play tanks or how to play Rammus, I'm certainly willing to listen. Also, excuse me if my voice is a little hoarse. I'm recording this fairly early in the morning so that I don't have any, my wife or anyone else running around the house making noise. So A, I'm trying to be a little quiet, and B, I'm still half asleep, so my commentary is a little slower than last time, and my voice is a little more hoarse. Okay, where am I off to? Oh yeah, the Powerball is such a great way to farm these caster mobs especially. They're extremely squishy. They can put out some decent damage, but they go down so fast if you've got any AoE. What have we got now? Oh, this is definitely a decent position for us. No, I missed the Powerball on Blitzcrank, but I am able to taunt him. Oh, he's going down fast. But you see how quickly I'm going down as well. I'm going to be forced to back up here and not be able to participate in the rest of the match. I suppose I did my job. I initiated it. I helped take out one of the toughest characters, but I don't like how squishy I end up feeling. What do I have again? I see. I guess my boots and my chalice don't help me be more tanky. And I could go with a ninja tabby instead of a boots of mobility, but I certainly don't want to give up the chalice. And I'm not sure how much of a difference the boots would make. So maybe it's just maybe that's just the way it is. Now I don't have my wow, he's peeing quite aggressively down at the bottom. Yeah, okay, we'll go and help there. I don't have my defensive ball curl maxed out yet, and maybe I should, but it doesn't seem to scale up that quickly. And I really like the long duration taunt. I think I only get 1 level in Powerball these days. I used to do it the other way around, but I think my ability build with Rammus is 1 level of Powerball, 1 level of taunt, 1 level of defensive ball curl, and then from that point on I try to max out taunt as quickly as possible, and then I max out my defensive ball as a secondary, and I don't bother putting more points in my Powerball, because what it does is it adds more damage and increases the length of the slow, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly. But it doesn't really improve the key powers of it, which I consider to be the speed increase and the knock-up. So I decided to put my points in the taunt, which improves its duration quite a bit. But maybe